Hi there. In this quick video, let's see Lambda essentials. So if you want to learn how to use lambdas in Java, what are block lambdas, what are expression lambdas, what's a method reference, how to create a functional interface, what's a functional interface, and how to use the existing functional interfaces, this video will help you get started. Okay, let's create a very simple lambda. So let's create a constant here and lambda, and so you can see that this lambda doesn't take any inputs and it returns a string as the output. So let's create a variable name for this, and you can see that it's a supplier. What's a supplier? A supplier takes nothing and it returns something. In this case, the return value is shown as string here, right? And let's give a name for this, hello lambda, right? Now hello lambda, let's call this and get the result, and here it is, our first lambda up and working, right? Now let's quickly see the supplier. So the supplier, you can see that it takes the argument type argument t here, and we have given instantiated with string, so it doesn't take any argument and it returns a string. And now if you come back to our code, you can see that it doesn't take anything and it returns a string as the result. So how do we know if this returns a string, right? In fact, you can make it as a return statement, right? But to make that, you should have it as a block. So in only in a block you can have the return statement. So this will still work. Let's see this now. Yep, so the same code working now, but if you have a block, then you should have a return statement. If you remove this, you will get an error like this, right? So in a in a expression lambda, the return is implicit. So in this case, the hello is the return value. In a block lambda, you have to explicitly return the value if you are returning anything, right? Okay, so let's get rid of this code and create some other slightly more complex lambda. In this case, let us take an argument. Let's write a simple lambda which takes an integer and checks if the given integer value is a even value or an odd value. So I say even, otherwise it's an odd value, right? Now what is the type of this? It says int function, right? And what is this int function? It's let's call it as int kind, right? So for a given int kind, we can apply it for a particular value. So we have just created the lambda. It's like function definition. We have to call it, right? And we have to call this lambda here. Let me try with value 9 and print this, right? So we can see that it's an odd value correctly as it is shown here. Now I can apply it for any values. For example, I can apply it for 10, int kind dot apply 10 and print this value, and you can see that it would print even, right? So let's convert this into a block lambda. So you don't have to do it yourself. You can use IntelliJ IDEA for the same. So you can see that the explicit return statement is added here, right? Now you can replace it with an if statement, and you can see that now we have um, two return statements and the program will still work. Now if you have conditions like this, you cannot make it as part of an expression lambda. You can have it only as part of a block lambda. So that is when a simple return is there, some simple code is there, which is one single statement, then you can put it in expression lambda. But if it is more than that, then you have to put it in a block lambda. Now since this code has become a little bit more elaborate, right, than the one we started with, which is a conditional expression. We can actually expand it, extract it into a method reference. So what's a method reference? So is, even, or odd, right? So a method reference passes is a shortcut, or it's a short way of saying I am taking an argument and passing it along, right? It's the same thing. Whatever we have done, it's the same thing, but through a method now. Now we have this function which takes an integer and it checks for even and odd and returns a string, and that is what is being consumed here, right? So, and if you have a method reference, you can inline and get rid of the method reference. So I am using the inline method shortcut and refactor this, and we have got our code back. All right. So let's quickly see how the int function looks like. It's a it's a function defined in java.util.function package. So let's take a quick look at the functional you can see that it is actually marked as a functional interface. A functional interface is an interface which has only one method in it. So the lambda here implements this functional interface just like the implements keyword, but it's done implicitly. So this method body is in fact an implementation of a anonymous class. So you can in fact replace it with an anonymous class. So this, you can see that we're creating a new int function object and overriding the apply method. So now I think you'll have a better idea of what lambdas are. You can think of it as a very simplified version of anonymous inner classes, both though it's not technically correct, because lambdas are not just a syntactic sugar, it's a proper language feature, but it helps understand with our earlier understanding of how the anonymous inner classes work. So if you have a anonymous inner class in which you have only one method, you can convert it with a lambda like this, and you can get it back. Now let's get rid of this int function and create our own functional interface. So let's create an interface, or let's start it from scratch and create another simple lambda and create a functional interface for the same. Let's create a lambda and let's complete this statement, and let's call our like first functional interface. Not a very good name, but still it's a name that you can give so that we can see how the functional interfaces work, and we can say hello lambda, right? So now we should get this code working. We don't have a function interface defined, so we get an error here. So let's do enter here and create an interface, and so what do we do in this interface? We have to give the return type. So because hello is being returned, right, so I have to return a string, and I should give a method name, right? Let me call it as check, and it doesn't take anything as input. I'll just say apply, right, and close this, and let's come back, and now you can see that the code is compiling. And now let's create another line and call this hello lambda. If you remember the method name you have given, it was just apply. So just apply this and print the value, and you can see that this is working, right? So you can go back here and see we have, if you change this method name, for example, like for example get, you'll get an error because you have used it there, right? So let's go here, and you can see that the compiler gives you get instead of apply, and now we can run this. So with that we have created our functional interface. So functional interface, as I mentioned, has only one method, an abstract method, right, in the interface, and you can actually mark it as a functional interface to make, for help. It will be very helpful for the users to understand that on this interface is marked as a functional interface, so that can be used as a lambda. So yeah, with that we have covered quite a bit. We have talked about how do we create a simple lambda expression lambda. So in this case we have this as an expression lambda, and we saw how to convert it into a block lambda. So you can convert it into a block lambda, right? And you can also convert it into a method reference. So here you can say get, and if you have a method reference you can convert it back to an inline lambda call. And we saw how you can actually create your own functional interface. So what is a functional interface here? It's a supplier here, it's a default one. Or you can actually create your own functional interface, as in this case first functional interface, right? That's a lot of ground we have covered. So try out these programs and have fun with functional programming. Bye for now.